you can create one folder in your drive also. So I am creating this folder on desktop, new and folder. So the name of my folder is first servlet. So open this folder, then right click and then create one folder inside this first servlet. Give the name as web-inf. Okay, so web-inf folder. Okay, so create this web-inf folder in your first servlet folder. Okay, again open this web-inf and create one more folder which is a classes folder. Okay, so this classes folder is created. Again, inside this web-inf folder, create one file which is a web.xml file. Okay, so I am using a name as web.xml. So this is your deployment descriptor file. So this deployment descriptor file is used to set the servlet parameter. It is used to configure your servlet parameter like servlet name, servlet class name and the URL pattern. URL pattern means which HTML file to be opened or to be executed whenever the server is started. So that parameters are configured in this web.xml file, and this file is called as the deployment descriptor file. Okay, so this file is created web.xml. Again here outside this web.inf folder, create one file which is my servlet file, that is my servlet.java. So this is my Java file and the name is my servlet. Okay, now we can write the code inside this file, my servlet.java. So open this file. So here I am opening it in Notepad++. Now here write the code for my for the servlet. Okay, so here I am going to create a simple servlet which displays simple message like hello servlet in a browser when I execute this servlet program. So first step in servlet program is import the package. So here we are importing two packages. One is IO and second is the servlet package. So import java.io.star and second package is import javax.servlet.star semicolon. Then the next step is declaration of servlet class, and the class is declared as public. Then class, my class name is my servlet extends generic servlet. Okay, and then inside this class the service method is defined. Okay, and the declaration of service method is public void service, and this method contains two parameters. First is servlet request and second parameter is servlet response. So servlet request is interface which is used to read the data from client request. Okay, so when client sends URL, so in that URL whatever data client sends, that data will be read by your servlet using this servlet request. Okay, so here servlet request REQ and second parameter is servlet response RES. Okay, that is the response. This servlet response will be used to send the response to the client machine. Whatever data server wants to send to the client, then that will be sent to client using this servlet response. Okay. Now this service method, it throws two exceptions. One is servlet exception and second is IO exception. Okay, so here I am writing this throws servlet exception comma IO exception, and then inside this service method we write the servlet code. Okay, that we want to execute. Now Here first we'll create a print writer object using getWriter method. So print writer P is equal to getWriter is a method of servlet response. Okay, so using res dot getWriter. So this getWriter will create a print writer object, and the print method will be used to send the response to the client machine. So P dot print ln, because print is a method of print writer. So object of print writer is P. So here I am using a P dot print ln, and the message will be displayed, which is hello servlet. Okay, so this is my simple code. The first is we import two packages, IO and servlet. Second is servlet class is declared as a public class, class name, extend, generic servlet. Then the service method is defined. Here the syntax of service method is fixed. Okay, nine. Public void service, servlet request, servlet response, and then two exception. One is servlet exception, second is IO exception, and then here the code is given. Next is compile this program. Okay, now for compilation here, so my folder is on desktop now, so I am using the path here, first servlet, control C, and then here. Okay, so here if I use Java C, so path is already set. So for compiling, I am using a command as Java C. Okay. Then my file name is my servlet.java. Okay. Now see, if I press enter key, so these are some errors. Okay. If you see, all the errors are related to your servlet. The first is here, cannot find symbol, generic servlet. Second is servlet request, servlet response, and then servlet exception. Okay. So here, if you see the errors, the error is common, which is cannot find symbol. The meaning of this cannot find symbol error is all these means generic servlet, servlet request, servlet response, then servlet exception. These classes as well as interfaces are not found. Okay, it gives this error cannot find symbol because here the servlet API like Java X.servlet and Java X.servlet.http, these two packages are defined in servlet-api.jar file. Okay, suppose here C drive. So C drive program file Apache Software Foundation Tomcat 9.0, and then here it will ask for the permission. So here continue. Then here select lib folder, that is library folder, and in this folder all the jar files are available. Okay. Now this is the file which contains the servlet API. That is the file name is servlet-api.jar. So while compiling the servlet program, we have to set the path of this servlet-api.jar file. So using minus class path or using minus cp, we can set the path of this jar file. Java C my servlet.java minus class, select this path, paste it, and then use file name that is servlet-api.jar file. Okay, and then compile. Dot class file is created. Cut this file my servlet.class and you can paste it in classes folder. Or the second method is here I am deleting this file. Again I am compiling the same file. Minus D option is used. Minus D option, it specifies the path of your class file, in which folder we want to copy that class file. So we have to mention that path using minus D option. So Java C minus D, and my folder name is web inf, then slash classes folder. Okay, so in classes folder I have to paste that class. So class file is created in web inf and classes folder. Clear? So my servlet.class file is created. Please copy this folder. Next step is change the or configure the uh, servlet parameter in this web.xml file. In this file, we have to write some tag. So my first tab is web app because this is my web application. So web dash app tag, okay, which indicates the starting as well as the ending of my web application. So web dash app. Inside this web dash app tag, the first tag is servlet. Okay, close this tag, and inside this tag again we are going to configure the two parameter. One is servlet name and second is servlet class. So the tag is servlet dash name. Okay, and here we are mentioning the servlet name. So my servlet name is my servlet. So you can use any other name. Okay, I'm using a same name that is same as my class. The second parameter is servlet class. So servlet dash class. Okay. So closing tag of servlet class, and here we are mentioning a class file name, my servlet. So these two parameters are given inside this servlet tag. Similarly, one more tag is used inside this file, which is called as a servlet mapping. Okay, servlet mapping tag is used to map your servlet with the client request. म्हणजे HTML file आहे, and when I execute that HTML file, which servlet to be loaded, which servlet to be executed on server side. Okay, so we have to map it using this servlet mapping tag. Servlet name, and second one is URL pattern. Okay, the second parameter is URL pattern. In the URL pattern slash my servlet, that is the name of your class file name is given. Okay, and then save this file. The next step is copy this folder, first servlet. Okay, and then paste it in Apache Software Foundation Tomcat 9.0 Web Apps folder and text. Type localhost colon 8080 because the port number of the Apache Tomcat default port number is 8080. So first we'll check whether the server is started or not. Okay, for that here we are using a localhost colon 8080. Okay, so this page is open, indicates that our server is started. I have to execute my servlet program. So for executing here, I am using a URL as localhost colon 8080 slash my first servlet folder name. Folderचं नाव देईल मी first servlet, and in this folder my servlet file name is given, which is my servlet. And press enter. Okay, so your servlet program is executed. Here the message is displayed, which is hello servlet.